Thanks for your support as a channel member, Ryan Lawson. I know it can get a little bit old, me asking for like targets and stuff every day, but just to give you a little bit of context, I'm recording this video like 3 days in advance, and we've already smashed through 1 million views for the month on the channel, which is ridiculous numbers, and it is a direct correlation with the amount of likes that we get. The more likes a video gets, the more views the video gets, and you lot have smashed it this month with huge support that I am very, very grateful for. So let's keep it going. Thank you very much. 2,000 likes again. In fact, new season, 3,000 likes. What? 3,000 likes for a new season? That would be ridiculous and awesome. Hello and welcome to part 11 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our first 2 games of the new National League season, away against Notts County and at home against Chorley. If you missed the transfer special yesterday, firstly, go back and watch it. You really should. Lots happened, but secondly, there's your summary of the transfers. We've strengthened the squad considerably. Things are looking good. So good, in fact, that despite the board only looking for a mid-table finish from us, the media seem to have other ideas and think we've got a playoff push in us, and maybe even challenging for the title, which would make it back-to-back-to-back promotions for Kings Lynn if we can pull that off. I think that's fairly unlikely, but what I am hopeful for is achieving a non-league to legend first, I think, which would be getting a promotion and then staying up at this stage of the save, because it's not really unusual for me to get a promotion with the first club, but I don't think we've ever done it and then stayed up. It's usually been a promotion against all odds. But we've got to be hopeful for a mid-table finish this season. Surely. We're going to learn a lot today, I think. We're playing Notts County up first, who, of course, are fellow promotion favourites. We're away from home against them. If we don't embarrass ourselves today, then I'll believe we're as good as that says. I suspect we're going to get an absolute thumping. But I guess there's only one way to find out. And this is the team that we're going for. The big decision is Adam Marriott starts from the bench at life at this level, partly because Falemi and Kelman are just better than him, according to my 2-star judging ability coach. I mean, they all agree. It's not like it's just him. I mean, and they're all experts, as you can see. They all know what they're doing. Even Dickie Hall. He says Marriott's third choice, but also he's not close to match fit. 59% match fitness. These two are in the 70s, so he's not done his bit during pre-season either. So he's going to start from the bench and have to play his way into the team. If he's as good as we all know he is, then he will. And plus, of course, we did see him have a very slow start to the season last year, so I don't think it will hurt for him to have to force his way into the team. There are lots of new faces in the team, though. The 2 new boys at centre-back, 2 new full-backs, new boy in midfield, and I mean, the front 3 are all on loan, but at least they were all here last year. So we're going with Watkins in goal. He gets the nod over Flat for today, although, as you can see, I gave Flat squad number 1. So I'm still not sure who my best keeper is. I need to decide that fairly soon. So Watkins in goal. A back 3 of Smith, Odemeo and Bernard, with Fleming and Clark as the wing-backs. Payne and Davis in central midfield. Carter in behind, Falemi and Kelman. I love the irony of the fact that last year Carter, as part of his loan deal, was supposed to play as a shadow striker, and we never played him there. And as part of his loan deal this year, there's no reason, there's no expectation to play him in a particular position. So we've moved him up and started playing him there. I don't know if it'll be a long-running thing, because McAnuff is down there, and he's a very good attacking midfielder as well. It's nice to have a little bit of strength in depth this year. I know last year, if we'd have got any, luckily we steered clear of injuries, but if we'd have lost Marriott, or any of the midfielders, or basically anyone, any significant injury would have utterly derailed our season last year. Whereas this year, I think we've probably got most positions fairly well covered. Obviously, Alfie Payne would be a big miss if we lost him. But I think everyone outside of him, we probably could cope with an injury to now. So let's get into the game. Let's see how we measure up against our potential promotion rivals. Brandon Fleming can be given a squad number as well. Notts County. This is going to be one of our toughest tests of the season away against Notts County. They're certainly giving us a baptism of fire at this new level. We're underdogs, go out there and cause an upset. I am going with the positive tiki-taka system as well. So we're going to learn a lot today. Firstly, about how close we are to Notts County, which I think is going to be super important, but also whether or not it's a good idea to use this system for games like this. We have got a counter-attacking version of the 5-3-2 that we're training that we can use for games like this if this obviously doesn't work, and we've given away a penalty with 3 minutes on the clock. So that's a nice start. Is he going to get sent off? Because we learn nothing if he's sent off. Ridiculous. We're now... all of that learning that I was talking about getting out of this match is all gone. We will learn nothing now. Ridiculous. Carter goes back to play in midfield. Davis drops to right back. And now we just have to take our medicine at this point. We've got a red card. It was a crazy red card, a crazy penalty to give away. And now we're going to get an absolute thumping. We're on telly as well, by the way. That's why no one else is playing. This is the TV game because it's, you know, the oldest club in the country against the newly promoted team playing at this level. 2 promotion favourites, 2 very good teams. But now we've ruined it as a spectacle with a moment of absolute insanity early on. Smith now plays it to Ademeo. Carter playing it out to Fleming on this left-hand side. Ball over the top for Kelman to chase. Kelman is in here and hits the inside of the poster. He's there for the follow-up, but can't quite tuck it away. I hear you, comments section. Adam Marriott would have scored. We don't know that. He started slowly last season. We don't know he would have scored. Davis now playing... he only came in as the backup player for right back, and he's already playing there now. Kelman's in behind again, though. Kelman making a nuisance of himself early on, which is a good sign. I like a striker who makes a nuisance of himself. There's Payne playing it out to Fleming. Fleming over the top for Kelman, who's in again here. Kelman... he's offside that time, so I'm not going to be too critical, but he's getting some chances, Charlie Kelman, and we need to see him convert some of them, or else I'll start to get upset. Bernard plays it in to Odimeo, back out to Bernard again, who lumps it over the top for Kelman. Once again, he's in, and once again, he doesn't score. He's dangerous. But has he actually got any end product? Payne with the corner. There's no Adam Marriott there to nod it in, and now Notts County have the break. They have a player who's miles offside, and surely even if he touches that now, he was offside for that whole move. How is he not? I don't understand. I do not understand how he's not been given as offside there. Smith lumps it clear. We're not actually playing too badly in the circumstances, considering we've been down to 10 men since the start. Notts County are now uninterested, which I think is the time for us to have 10 minutes of passion. While they've had enough, we're gonna go out there and try and get stuck in. I've just noticed they've got a player called Booty, and I'm already regretting releasing Michael Gash because puns. Anyway, they've scored while they're not interested, and we're 2-0 down on 33 minutes. And I warned you it wasn't going to be pretty today now, and it's not going to be pretty. Because I don't know what to do when we go down to 10 men. Should we have stayed 5 at the back? Should we have maybe changed the system up so that we're not trying to play an attacking system with nobody really linking up the midfield and the attack? Although, to be fair, the amount of chances Kelman's had, he should have scored. It's the first opportunity he's had to play as the more attacking striker. Every time he got in the team last year, he was alongside Marriott, playing as a support for him. And certainly he does seem dangerous getting in behind the way he is. We're a man down. There's no pressure to get a result today. Just go and play with confidence. I like that. I didn't do it in the end. I did a slightly different version of it. But I don't want this to derail our season, one game in. And I don't want us to embarrass ourselves, but at the same time, I don't want anybody thinking this is representative of Kings Lynn. If we can stay competitive when down to 10 men against a team who are favourites for promotion, that would be awesome. They've made it 3-0 now. And there is a rather worrying trend that every time they get a chance, they're scoring it, whereas we've had as many clear-cut chances as they've had goals, and we haven't scored yet. If only we had a prolific goal scorer somewhere at the club who could have tucked away some of these chances. I hear you. I know that's what the comment section is saying. I can hear you from here, even 3 days in the future as I'm recording the video. I know the comment section well. I know what you're telling me. Davis Plays it to Kelman, who's not really done anything since missing those early chances. Davis to Carter. Carter with the cross, looking for Fellaini, fresh off the Copa America in the summer, and Kelman's in again. Was that another? It's another big chance for Kelman, who is missing absolutely everything. And I don't know how much more patience I can show with him before bringing Marriott on, because I'm pretty confident if Adam Marriott gets half the chances Kelman's had today, he at least scores one, and we're going to bring him on now. An hour in, Marriott comes on for Kelman, and that young lad, he definitely looks like a talent. Remember, he's only 18 years old. He's going to get better, but he needs to sort his composure out a little bit before we rely on him in a big game again, I think. What else can we do, really? We've got a variety of players we could bring on. I'm almost tempted to go to a flat back four and try and push on a little bit, but that's just asking for trouble, isn't it, if we do that? I said I didn't want to get embarrassed. Payne's not playing well. Carter's not playing well. No one's really playing well. We're getting thumped. Of course nobody's playing well. Davis is tiring, but we don't have another right back at the club. He is the backup one. I'm going to bring McAnuff on for Fellaini, and we're going to go with this, I think, which is perhaps what we should have done as soon as the red card happened, gone with just one striker. But hindsight, isn't it? 3-0 with 10 men for the entire game. I'm not disgusted in us. It could have been a lot worse. We're going to bring on Macaulay for the last 10 minutes because Bernard's on a yellow card there, and we don't want another red. McAnuff, we want him to force his way into the team now. Here is Adam Marriott in behind. Can he score? He doesn't. That's 4 clear-cut chances now that we've missed, and one of them was Marriott. It's not all Kelman's fault, but we have actually had more good chances than Notts County have, but we've just been super, super wasteful with them. That 3-0 scoreline does not tell the story of those match stats. I feel like naivety has defeated us today. Naivety in giving the penalty away. Naivety in maybe not being as clinical as we could have been. But remember, this is one of the better teams we'll come up against this year. So, fingers crossed. Look at those chances. Fingers crossed we're not going to have days like this very often. My word, the board are looking at this and wonder. They've doubled the amount they're spending on wages, and we've looked pathetic. Well, I think we need to aggressively say I'm not happy with that result because, a 3-0, if we'd have been outclassed, would have been fine, but we didn't have to lose that game, and we did. Let's go and beat whoever we're playing next. Chorley. 2 changes for the Chorley game. Then Marriott comes in for Kelman, who drops down to the bench. 3 changes, in fact. I forgot I had to change the right back. McAnuff comes in for Carter as the attacking midfielder, and we've had to bring Parsons in to central midfield so we can move Davies out to right back because James Clark is going to be suspended for a match. So fingers crossed, with the slight tweaks to personnel and the fact that we're at home for this game against lesser opposition. Hopefully we'll see the real Kings Lynn today. That's what we're hoping for. Let's give the fans something to cheer today. In fan news, we've sold double the amount of season tickets this year as we did last year. Nearly 300 season tickets sold this year. So there's clearly some excitement around the town at the prospect of seeing us play in the National League. So we don't want to let them down. Marriott making a nuisance of himself early on, which is a good sign. Remember, this isn't anywhere near to a match fit Adam Marriott just yet. So I'm going to try not to be too alarmed if we don't see the best of him today. I'd encourage you to do the same. There's Fellaini, though, who has had a very good summer. He should be a different player to the player who was with us towards the end of last year, forcing Danaher out of the team, because obviously he's been off playing for Australia and scoring goals for Australia B in the Copa America. I say goals, he scored 1 goal, but still, that's more goals than you've ever scored in the Copa America. Adam Marriott is fouled in the penalty area and has the opportunity to get his first goal of the season and put us ahead against Chorley. It's Marriott to step up to take the penalty. Can he convert it? Deep breath, begins his run up. Of course he can. It's 1-0 to Kings Lynn. And we all knew Adam Marriott was going to be our top scorer. He's top scorer again this year now. because he's the only one who's scored for us so far this season. But he did make the penalty himself. He did win it. He was making a nuisance of himself. So, he's Adam Marriott, isn't he? He's going to get goals for us at whatever level we're playing at. Right, it's us with the highlight again. Davies with the throw, looking for Marriott. Marriott flicks it on, but really to where he would have been standing if he'd have been not massively out of position to flick it on. So it wasn't that useful. Odemeo does win a good header there, and McAnuff can't keep hold of it in the little number 10 position that we've got going on there, though. Trying to just generally all of them chasing about, making nuisances of themselves, which is, that's our motto for the season. Make a nuisance of yourself. They've got a player in here. Watkins does make the save, though, and Bernard is there to clear, and that protects the lead. This is good. See, this is more like it. Look, 64% possession, 66% possession, dominating the shots, dominating the play, dominating the game. This is what we're used to from last year, and it looks like certainly on initial inspection, it appears it is possible to do it at this level. Now, I don't know how good Chorley are. It could be that they're going to finish rock bottom of this league. I didn't actually look, unlike with Man City, I didn't look before the game to see how good this lot are. I just decided we were going to go out there and beat them regardless. But I like the fact that we're controlling the game. It would be nice to see us converting a few more chances, which we've had the one chance and converted it. I guess Marriott's in here, though. This is goal number 2, clear-cut chance number 2. What a difference having a clinical finisher up front makes. It's now 2-0 to Kings Lynn. Kelman needs to get in a mentoring group with Marriott. I think that is a priority for before the next video. Get them mentoring, working together in a mentoring group. We could get all 3 of those strikers into the same group, and Marriott is gonna rub off on both of them, hopefully, and help their development and help composure and finishing. I think that's all Kelman needs. Like I say, he's quick. He gets into good positions. He got into so many excellent chances, but he just was very wasteful when he got there. And hopefully, if he can work with Marriott and pick up that most important part of Marriott's game, then that's going to be a big positive. Archie Davis has scored now from right wing back. It's a shot from the edge of the area, and that's his first goal for the club. We're 3-0 up, and all of a sudden what looked like it had the potential to be a miserable episode is turning out really rather nicely. Parsons, in his debut, plays it out to Davis, and he's got no right to score from there, really, but he does. I don't think the keeper was expecting the shot, which is utterly reasonable. I wasn't expecting the shot either, but he hit it, and he scored it. And that is just rather splendid, isn't it, really? McAnuff hasn't played very well, so Carter can come on for him. Fleming can come off for Kenyon. 2 easy changes for us to make there. And then I guess it's only fair to bring Kelman on for Fellaini towards the end of this game. I don't want Kelman to think that I've written him off completely already. He did play, I think, better than Fellaini in that last game, just because he was getting into positions, whereas Fellaini, although he got a slightly higher rating in the last match, didn't look dangerous at all, whereas at least Kelman looked dangerous. Davies now cuts it back to Parsons, back to Davies again. Cross was looking for Kelman, ends up with Payne on the edge of the area. Kenyon now on the overlap, looking to do a Jake Kenyon special, but hits it just wide. All that talk about Davies having no right to score the goal he scored, we saw Kenyon do it repeatedly last year, so I guess I'm just not used to seeing it from that side. Jones was more of a creator than a goal scorer, and he's obviously off living in Canada now for a team that no longer exists in real life. But that was a good result against a Chorley team. We will just check to see how good Chorley are expected to be. So Chorley are relegation favourites, so I guess we should have beaten them convincingly. But I think what we've learned from those first 2 games, we said this episode was about learning, and I think what we have learned is we're probably not as good as Notts County, but we're also a lot better than Chorley, and they're the 2 extremes of the division. So we probably are a mid-table side, which is what the board want, and we've got a lot of young players. And as the season goes on and these young players start to improve, we've got 18, 19, 20-year-olds in most positions now. As they start to improve, we might just develop into a team capable of a playoff push in the second half of the season, which would be terrific. Right, we will play out the rest of August offline, and we'll be back tomorrow for a couple of games from September, probably early September, because we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, and we'll see where we are then. But if you've enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Remember, new season, looking for 3,000 likes today. That is a big ask. If we can do that, that is sensational. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.